So this is my post-fight reaction for Sonny Edwards versus Adrian Curiel. It was a very good fight. Sonny Edwards came out being aggressive, using that jab. Curiel was a little bit flat-footed early on. Didn't really have much going on, but as time went on, he started to get a little groove to himself. It seemed like before the cut happened, I'll say around the fourth or sixth round, Curiel started to actually do a lot more in the fight, start to be a lot more aggressive. He's a slow starter at certain times. He did come out aggressive, but I would still consider him a slow starter compared to what Sonny Edwards does. Sonny Edwards was boxing excellent in the fight. He was doing a very good job. He was staying out off the line. He was changing his levels. He was using the jab the whole fight. Curiel couldn't really do anything with the jab. He tried to be more aggressive with Sonny Edwards, and um, that tended to work for a little bit, but overall it didn't work for the early rounds. So he gave up a lot of those rounds. I feel like the accidental headbutt that happened in the sixth round, that's what caused a lot of confusion and different things. But it also had Adrian Curiel trying to go for the knockout a little bit more, and that's what kind of confused me and the fans. I know the fans was kind of booing. I'll explain why in a minute, but Curiel actually was picking things up in the middle rounds before the cut happened, and when the cut happened, he started to get a lot more aggressive, and that caused a lot of different things for Sonny Edwards. He didn't really understand what was going on overall as far as why Curiel was such a aggressive person after the cut, but I think Curiel was already being aggressive before the cut. I think the cut just let him know that maybe the fight could possibly get stopped, so let me put my foot on the gas. That's what I was thinking overall, that the fight could possibly get stopped, so he was being aggressive, trying to win some rounds, but the high guard didn't do well for him. He still was putting damage on Sonny Edwards. Sonny Edwards was taking a beating in this fight. Even though he did an excellent job fighting, that wasn't that had nothing to do with the injuries he sustained in the fight. He was taking some damage, but Curiel was getting outboxed, outperformed most of the fight. But man, he was doing a good job those last couple of rounds before that fight got stopped. That's why a lot of fans was kind of confused. And also, you have to realize we just had a fight like Fundora and Tim Tszyu recently, where these guys were bleeding a lot, and Sonny Edwards wasn't really bleeding a lot in this fight. He was not bleeding a lot in this fight. That's where I was kind of confused about the whole situation. Sonny Edwards was not bleeding a lot in this fight. He definitely was not bleeding a lot in this fight. And that kind of confused me overall because a lot of people felt like the fight was stopped right on time and it was the right decision. I felt like the fight was kind of early, man, to be honest with you. For the fight to get stopped at the time it did, I felt like it was a little early. I definitely felt like it was early, but you can't really blame a guy like Sonny Edwards. He came out to fight, and he did everything you could ask from a boxer. But a guy like Curiel, man, he doesn't get that many chances at an opportunity like this. And for the fight to get stopped, it wasn't a lot of blood. The blood was not rushing like that. The accidental headbutt was in the sixth round. That's what caused the cut. Um, it was blood rushing around the sixth, seventh round, but in the seventh round, eighth round, ninth round, I'll say around the ninth round started to rush a little bit, but it wasn't too much to where the fight couldn't go the full distance. And Curiel wasn't really focusing on trying to damage the cut even more. A lot of these guys, they'll see a guy bleeding from a cut and they'll keep punching the cut, trying to get a stoppage for the cut instead of actually trying to stop the guy with your abilities. And Curiel, he was in a tough spot, man. I feel like he got dealt the raw deal in this fight because he could have did a lot more in the fight. Now, do I like what Sonny Edwards was doing, and did I think he was winning? Absolutely. I feel like he was dominating. He was doing a lot better job, but it's still a 10, 12 round fight. So you got to give you got to give the guy the opportunity to win. Blood and cuts happen in boxing. That's how it goes. But for the fight to get stopped there early, I definitely was disappointed. So Sonny Edwards was handed the victory in this fight. Um, a lot of people say he outclassed Curiel. Yeah, he was outclassing him as far as outboxing him. But did Curiel have a chance to win this fight still before the fight was stopped? Absolutely. So that's what a lot of people are going to think about. It left a lot to be desired. It was a very good fight. But I don't know, man. I can't really explain everything else. But Curiel, hopefully he has another chance, another crack at it. That'll be 6 losses for him. And it's difficult to kind of work your way back with a record like that. And you got more losses than you do knockouts. So it's going to be very difficult. But a loss doesn't tell the whole story. He fought well in that fight. Curiel was he was the last couple of rounds he was dominating, man. He was doing an excellent job. He really was. But congratulations to Sonny Edwards, man. He fought hard in the fight, and the rounds he won early on did enough for him. And I feel like he was dominating early on. So it can go either way, man. However people feel, but it was still a good fight. I enjoyed it. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.